So today I'm going to be removing the front bumper. I want to customize this emblem right here. I'm going to start by disconnecting the negative terminal of the battery. With this car having a bunch of sensors, I don't want to take a chance of removing the front bumper and having any electrical issues dealing with sensors and stuff. I mean, you can probably get away without having to disconnect it, but I'm going to do that. But in my case, I'm just going to disconnect this one right here and maybe unplug this little harness versus having to just get in there. To me, it seems like this one's a lot quicker and easy to access for me. Since I'm going to disconnect the battery, I recommend you rotate your wheels. You're gonna need to access this area to remove these two clips and one screw here and one underneath. On the other side, you have to do the same, but this time your tire is going to be on the way, so you may need like a stubby screwdriver. This one will be a lot easier to get because you have to reach it this way. But this one, actually, I probably have some clearance behind this wheel, so this will work. Also, I'm going to be raising it up a little bit because I have to access some clips in the bottom and a couple screws. And so hopefully I'm going to walk you through some of the details so that it's a lot easier for you when you do it. I just removed the front bumper from my Integra Type S, and I just want to point out a few things before you start doing any of this first. And I'm going to walk you through this. Put some masking tape around this area so you don't damage it. You don't damage the paint as you remove it and install it. Another one, have some padding to support the bumper and not scratch it as much when you mess with it, or maybe a piece of cardboard will do. So now that it's off, in the top you have removed 10 clips. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Also, there's a harness here for the sensors. So when you start pulling this out, you have to be careful and gently pull it out and lay it down on the ground. Or as you pull it out, disconnect this. Now, once your bumper is on the ground, there's another harness that's going to connect to this sensor on the driver's side, and another one on the passenger side. And those, when you set this bumper on the ground, they're going to be pulling on that harness. The harness is going to have a plastic tab that is going to go through this. And actually, let me get a tool so I can show you how as the harness is sitting here, it's like a tab that has a zip tie around the harness. Use a tool like this. Maybe you can use a flathead screwdriver to push it, and then gently pull the harness as I'm pushing the tab on the side. And I can show you real quick how I did it. So there's one harness here going to this sensor, another one on the driver's side. Here's the one zip tie tab that is going to be holding that harness. You have to do the same thing, push it and gently pull it out. And this one. Now this one I have to figure out how to put it back in there, because when the bumper came down, I was not aware of this and it just got disconnected. You see it has some clips, but this should be easy to figure out. Oh, here's one. Here's like a tab that this will tie to. Now here's the harness I was telling you about. This is on the passenger side. This is the connector that goes to the sensor, and this is the tab that is attached to the front bumper. Hopefully you can see clearly, but I use this tool to push this down and pull it out. That's so you have a closer look. So when you remove the bumper and lay it down, just be gentle because you can snap this harness. Now if you have the same issue where the harness that goes through the center of this bumper comes off, there's a tab here, there's another tab here, so you can insert it back. There's another one here. They're easy to install. Let me just go. So there's one here, one here, one here. And there's one here, but it doesn't have one. And it has like one sensor on this end as well. Now coming back to the removal of this bumper, there's a screw that comes up here on this is the passenger side. There's a screw here and another one here, and then one clip here and one clip here. But I'm going to show you this later on. I just want to give you a preview of what you're going to be dealing with when you start removing this bumper. And along the bottom, there are, I think I removed a total of like 6 bolts and 10 to 14 or so clips. Can't remember exactly. But here are the spots where you're going to see it. I'm going to try to flip this upside down so you can see it better. So those are the ones that you have to remove. Okay, so from the bottom side, I just want to give you a preview of what you need to remove. I think it's a total maybe of 12 or so clips, maybe 14 max, and 6 bolts. And the bolts are pretty much concentrated on this side. There's like 2 here. It's hard to see, but there's one on top, one in the bottom, and this one. So 3 here and 3 on the other side. And as you remove the clips, you're gonna follow this edge of the front bumper, and you'll see it has one clip here, one here, one up here. This one has a clip too, except you have to push this back when you do that. There was another clip here, clip, another clip. I think this one was a clip as well, clip, bolt, and 2 bolts, and some on the other side. And you also have to remove this clip at the very edge of the bumper. Now I like removing these with 2 flathead screwdrivers, the small ones. They're actually jeweler screwdrivers, and I like to grab them at opposite ends because usually these plastic pieces snap easily. See, that was a pretty clean removal, although these are pretty new, so should be good. This one feels like it's about to snap. Okay. Now, once I started to remove the bumper, I'm on the passenger side. You see these small holes here? They have 2 tabs. What I actually did, I just kind of like pushed this up and pulled outside. And then once these were out, I used a tool like this to actually, oh, it's gonna be hard to see, to pry this by pushing it up and then pulling the bumper slowly out. There's like another one here and one more here, but it's hard to see. Yep, there's one, here's another one, there's one right there, and another one where the light is hitting. I'll show you once I remove the bumper. Now once you have this side removed, go ahead and remove the other side as well. And once you have those loose, it will give you some play to actually pull this gently out at the same time you pull this out. But notice, now this one is made. So now that I've removed all the clips and bolts and I disconnected both ends around the headlights, I'm going to start pulling it. There's a cable in the middle, so you have to be careful when you pull this out. Here's this cable. And not only that, there are other cables. So I disconnected this guy from here, but the other sensors have cables as well. So here's one of them. That one, but I have to remove the clip from the actual bumper. Now, since the other sensors have connectors that you have to remove and a harness, I actually use this tool again to snap the harness clip out of the bumper. Let me show you. So this portion is holding the harness on the bumper, and I grab this tool to press on this, and as I was pressing on one end, I was gently pulling this connector out, this harness. So there's another one on the passenger side that I have to remove right now.